Okay.
Yes, we're ready.
Well, good evening, everyone. Shall we get started?
Yes.
Do we have the 4 teams already here? Team Theta, Team Vega, and Team Delta, and Team Gamma. Okay. Before we start on the team briefing, I want to share a story that I stumbled into this week. When I was clicking through and some YouTube training on the training monster, I came upon a clipping. So I saw that it was the interview of a lady, a retail trader. Okay, her name was Karen, and she became very successful. And they asked her about how she did it. Okay, and that was back in 2002 when she and a friend of her went to some kind of free training, free stock investment training. And then for the next 5 years, 2002 to 2007, she did paper trading, nothing but paper trading. Of course, she took a lot of classes already. While she's doing that, she held a full-time job. She's a CPA and she's a CFO for a small company. So she held a full-time job while she's learning the paper trade and all that. So she did not trade for real money. Then for 5 years, she learned all her mistakes and all that. Then she left her company in 2007. She took her $100,000, the money she invested with Merrill Lynch at that time. And the money wasn't really doing anything. It was like, you make some gains and then you lose some, you make some, you lose some. So she took that $100,000 and she traded her own account. Then for the next year and a half or so, 2 years, and that 100,000 becomes like 1.4 million, okay? And then they talked to her and said, how, before then you never traded with real money, and she said, yeah, that's true. But for 5 years, while she's paper trading, she gained all the confidence. She believed she can do it. And because when she left her company in 2007, she wanted to make this, she wanted to make money with trading. She believed she can do it. And she said she studied 1 hour a night, while holding a full-time job. She's trading during lunchtime, paper trading, lunchtime and at night. Okay. And because she became so successful, her friends gave her the money to trade. And what's interesting, the Merrill Lynch agent who was trading for her, and he begged her to take my money and trade because she became so successful. So she did, So her trading account right now is like, I think about 160 some million dollars. Of which 40 million plus of profit. Okay, and she has like 6 person, including herself, in that company. She's like fund manager now. She's still. They only, her first name is Karen, and they don't want to, provide her last name, but that was something, right? But what I want to point out is that, she's got a lot of fear, but she did paper trading for 5 years. Okay, she learned a lot of mistakes, but she did it in the paper trading. I'm not going to say making money is easy in stock market. It takes a lot of learning. But the key thing is, I wish all of us will learn paper trading. Make all your mistakes in the paper trading account. And I hope that that you guys will continue to learn, even beyond this class. I think, Jeff, you raised your hand first.
I just heard about, it's tradingsim, SIM.com.
Okay.
And you can actually go on there and trade like you're really trading the market.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a day trading thing, but you can do it at any time, day or night.
Okay.
It's not the real market.
Oh, not the
but
real market.
It'll take you back, so you can trade stocks, what they did a week ago or a month ago.
Okay.
But you can actually trade real time. So you're really
okay.
trading.
Okay,
It's just not the real thing, but it's as if it was at a different
Okay.
time. So that's, to me, would be great experience.
trade,
Yeah, trading,
trade,
SIM.
trading sim, trading sim.
I think
okay.
they give you,
Okay.
I just looked at the site today for the first time because I heard about it.
Oh, okay,
But they give you a 30-day free trial, and then it's like $192 for the year
Oh, so you have to pay to
continue on.
continue on that trading. Okay, okay, okay. But you know, the message I want to pass out to all of you is that you have to learn this. I don't believe you can come here like 1 hour a week and become an expert, become successful in trading. I'm not going to kid you. I mean, it takes effort, it takes some learning. Yes?
Can you tell us a little bit about what your experience has been? Did you go through the paper trading for a certain amount of time, and then how did you
No,
evolve
I did
into
not.
this?
I did not. I wish there's more tools out there when I start doing it. I'm sure there is, but being a fireside, I just like jump in and start doing it. I learned all the bad mistakes, you know, disregarding my trading rules and all that. That's why, you know, I believe in the trading rules now. That you know, it's the fear and greed that is going to overtake you in the midst of trading. Yes, Karen.
I was curious, how many years have you been trading now? Since you
For
started?
15 years, yeah. But when I was, you know, holding down a full-time job, I didn't trade as much because it's not easy to trade when you have a full-time job. Yes.
I'm confused about something. When Gary started this, he said sometimes that the less you know, the better if you use this system. But yet, you still have to know something
Right.
in terms of how to recharge and what options to do. and how to-
Yeah.
But I'm confused. How much do you really need to cut when you say you really have to learn to do this? Are you what percentage would you say it's doing this versus really learning how to trade? And how to read the charts and the mathematical models and the graphs and all that?
It's very good question. It's a very good question. I believe by Gary's method, at least you can identify some stocks that, assuming that you are correct on the scanning first, okay? I mean, we are still trying to perfect this system, okay? Okay. If you know the stock is going to make some moves, some big moves, okay? I'm talking about option now because I trade a lot on options, which is stock, because stock do not make that much a big move. So I trade options. So, but anyway, going back to the, you know, to the stock.
Percentage.
When the stock move a little bit, it magnifies in the option market. Okay. So when you know that a stock is going to make a move, if you know the right strategy to use in option trading, you can make a very big percentage.
In terms of you choosing your strategy, would you use your intellect based on what you know, or would you use this?
I use the scanning to pick out which stocks, then I use the strategy to help me with the trading.
So you don't use this method actually to help you with the trading, but to
I
do the
I
scanning?
use at the beginning, like select which stocks.
Okay.
Like if
Okay,
the
okay.
screening produce like 5 stocks for me, okay?
Why don't you use it at the end? In terms of whether it's gonna go up or down, and what options do? Yeah, but I was just wondering why he does it.
He's doing it,
Yeah. Well, you know, from the tools, we come up with like so many stocks.
Yeah,
You know, we got like
You
the
narrow
top
it down.
3.
yeah.
Then when I know those top 3 is going to make a move, then I go back to look at the charts, look at the patterns, look at what strategies can I use so that when the stock makes a move, then I can capitalize on the profit. So I'm using the strategies to help me,
Scanning and narrow things down.
yeah, with the strategies. So you're not using the scanning totally because there's many strategies to use in trading.
So in other words, you really have to be very familiar with strategies.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I hope that, we got a lot to do tonight.
Okay.
You're getting into some advanced stuff.
Okay.
I wish the last week of the class, then I'm going to just share a little bit about what we call the delta neutral trading, okay? Which is a very advanced strategy, but I just want to share a little bit with you guys. A lot of the floor traders use, a lot of the what called off-floor trader use. Because in a delta neutral trading, you are not trading the direction of the market. You are trading when the market makes a move. You can make money by doing that, and that's what this Karen lady was doing, bi-directional. You don't have to rely on the directional move. I mean, in a lot of the stock trading, you have to be right on the direction, meaning that you have to know whether the stock is going up or going down. But in a delta neutral trading, you don't have to. As long as you're making a move, you can make money. So, but then you have to learn it. You have to like the lady I'm telling you about, Karen, the trader. Back in 2002, she put in she took the PhD program of stock trading back then, like $23,000. That's what she said. It took her 1.5 years to finish. Okay, and then she continued, paper trading for the next 5 years. So I mean, she became like a seminar junkie. She learned a lot. So I'm not going to say this is easy stuff. I'm not going to say this is like you can buy a book from Amazon.com and learn trading and you can make money. You have to learn on your own. You have to be passionate about this. You cannot go in with just like, oh, I want to make 100% of my money, in a year. No, you have to learn this. You have to be very passionate. You have to like it. I mean, this Karen, she studied 1 hour a day. Okay, 5 years minimum. Okay, so I know I'm cutting into the team presentation and some of the materials I want to cover tonight. So if I can ask you to hold your questions, maybe talk to me after the class, then I can go into a little bit with you. Okay, because I got a lot of stuff to cover, and we have after this week we have 2 more weeks only. So I'm just going to show you a little bit. What I'm trying to do is entice you so that it piques your interest so you can go off and study on your own as well. I'm not saying that I'm a teacher. I'm just somebody who have done it maybe earlier, started earlier, but I'm still a student. I don't believe I'm a teacher. I'm just showing you what I do, showing you what I learn. By far, I don't know as much. The more I learn, the more I find out that so much I don't know about. Okay? So let's go ahead and start it with the team presentation, shall we? Okay. So first team Theta, right? Who's the team captain?
We don't really have one.
We don't have one. Do we have a volunteer who will stand up for this team?
I guess I will try to address the questions. I don't really stand up, right?
Do you want to stand up and so we can
Well,
all?
not really, but I have to. I guess I will.
Okay.
We do not know the definition of theta. I looked it up. I still do not know.
Okay.
Do you know the definition?
Yes, I do.
It
It's
said
actually-
temperature. It didn't say anything like.
No, in options,
It's for
in
time.
option.
It's time decay. If you
Time
use the
decay.
T for theta,
Yeah.
it's time.
Yeah.
It did not say that in any of the definitions we saw.
Okay,
Theta,
theta.
is
Okay,
theta what you
theta.
Yeah.
Theta. It's the change of the option price in relation to the time value, because option has money, right? Because remember, there's an expiration. Okay, the longer the time value, the more value this option's got. But shorter the time frame, the time value is less and less to almost nothing. Like if you have a November call option right now for any stock, as it gets closer to the 3rd week in November, the theta value is going to reduce to almost 0 because it has no value.
Unless there's earnings.
Okay. Okay. Please, Alex, please continue.
We chose Halliburton and SPY it's a fund, a mutual fund, but what's the name of it, do you know?
Spider. This is SPY Spider.
Well, I know it's
It's
SPY, but I was gonna tell you what it was. Halliburton is HAL, by the way. And how accurate the day-by-day predictions are, I don't know, and what works and what does not work, I definitely don't know. But we went through a lot of the, what do you call those? things that filter down, what do you call them?
Filters, yeah.
Small filters.
Okay.
And we ended up with bullish or bearish, didn't we? End up using some of those.
Yeah, I kind of messed up.
Actually, really what we used was Jeff's knowledge. That's really what we ended up using.
So did you do a day-by-day prediction of the stock price?
Well, I discussed with Dennis here, and he and I did a little spotty. I did a few, and I did not do well 50%, but I do not know what other people did. Karen, how'd you do?
Terrible.
Nice. Jeff, did you predict?
No, I haven't been predicting because I'm, kind of don't want to conflict with what I do.
Oh, okay.
But I use the system for other things because it's awesome. But
Okay.
I would say we were probably not the best group to start, but anyway.
well, I could just add a little bit to that as well. We went through the filters and looked at the pages. One page of filters were all about
The
what
day, right?
what the stock did the day before.
Oh, the day before.
So we had another page that was more longer term because we figured if it did, pick a stock that we're going to follow just based on what it did the day before might not be representative.
Okay.
So we had another page where the filters, which is out of that, where we came up with Halliburton on that.
Okay.
And I was familiar with that, so I suggested that this would be a good stock because it is a very good stock to trade.
Okay.
And then we also chose the SPY because some people call the S&P 500 the market, and that's the ETF for the spider. So since we want to follow the market anyways,
Mm-hmm.
why not follow the ETF and we'd be following the market at the same time?
Okay.
And I was going to say too, that I did tell you guys that I messed up on that. And there was actually a way to go in and have the filters work together.
Oh, okay.
There was a way, and Jack showed me. how to
On
do it.
Trade Monster?
Yeah.
That thing looks crazy, and it makes you give your firstborn child to even get an account. I'm not sure.
Oh, to get any trading account? No, any
Not
trading
even
account you get
that
that
way.
way.
I was
They're
like-
all like that. They're
Anyway,
all like that.
So.
But it's free.
Yeah.
And that's one of the only ones that is free.
Okay. So you guys able to make some progress, but
I only
you
got
haven't
50%.
you haven't picked who's the team captain yet.
No, we
It's
haven't.
Jeff.
Oh,
Jeff.
Jeff?
I said Jeff from
I'm
the
just
beginning, but he wanted to know what the duties were before
Oh,
he
okay,
took on
yeah.
the.
So Jeff, here's your team's assignment for next week.
All right.
He's our fearless leader.
Okay, let's give a round of applause to the team. At least they try, right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Okay, Team Vega.
Okay, it's right here.
Vega, Team Vega, can you tell us what your team did?
Well, please, we
Okay,
had
let's
great
listen.
effort, but on Sunday, Saturday rather, we were trying to be so creative. When we first went in, we decided we were gonna do the Team Vega thing, an account with Team Vega, and we're doing all this. We're so excited, we're being so creative with our passwords and all this. And you realize, well, you can't do that, because they want a social security number, they want, it's an LLC, et cetera. So then I did manage to set up my account. And by that time, I think we had to disperse, because we'd been there quite a while, a couple of hours. Was it three and a half hours?
Oh, yeah, but
No, but 2.5 maybe, on this. And we were all there, there were about, 4 of us there, 5 of us there. And I was the only one that had my computer, so I did manage to get in, and I did manage to get all the way through the criteria stuff, and then I've had a very hectic week, and I'm leaving on an 8-day trip tomorrow, and so I haven't had time to go through all that. But there's some we have to work out. You have some questions on filters that we need to work on, and so we'll be doing that. But Kathleen had looked up, I think, Vega. On Vega, she was saying it was something like it was a bright star or something in one of the constellations, but that's probably not in reference to, to the trading.
yes.
But this is, well, nonetheless, Vega is,
A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them is whatever the first letter is, kind of gives you a hint. Like the beta was time, and Vega's volatility.
Volatility.
we never would have gotten that. But anyway, so we will continue working on this. I think there's just 2
You
of us
can- you
that
can
have set
look
up
up-
the accounts.
The trading Greeks, and that'll give you the definition.
Trading, thank
Yep.
you.
It was some fun. We did learn a lot. We did learn lots, and it just caused us to go in and to have to really delve.
So you guys didn't get a chance to
So we
pick
didn't
2
get into
stocks
stocks
and then,
looking at the, no,
Okay.
no, we got,
okay,
We just barely got in.
okay. So you
And then I
have,
went home.
that means you have last week's assignment plus next week's assignment.
I'm out of town for
Okay,
8
so
days,
who's your backup captain?
Look
Cecilia.
at me.
Cecilia. I'll let her hand out.
As a matter of fact, we were hoping that we could find your phone number.
Okay.
Phones, but we didn't.
I will,
nobody
I will
had
give
it.
you my phone number. Okay. Okay, let's give a round of applause for trying. Okay, Team Delta.
Ta-da! All right, team members, stand up. Sharon, Danny, Ruthie. All right, here's my 4 team members that are still participating. All right, Delta, thanks to Danny, we have the definition. We also have the definition of everybody else's if you want it. Delta is the amount an option price is expected to move based on a $1 change in the underlying stock. So literally translated, what does that mean, Jack?
Dollar?
You want to see the change of the option price in relations to the underlying security. Meaning that if the stock were to move $1, okay, what will happen to the option price of that stock? Because when you're option trading, you want to see when the stock move a lot, will your option move as much? If it's got 100 delta, meaning that when the stock move by $1, your options gonna move by $1. If it's got 10, that means you only move 10%. Meaning that when the stock move by $1, your options go move by 10% of that.
Okay,
It's the percentage.
good, thank you. Well, Jack was our adopted team member because we had to consult him. We tried a wonderful online meeting tool that Ruthie, thank heavens, and Dennis have. So we had an online meeting on Monday evening. And I'd already set up my Trade Monster account. I hadn't been in it. I knew nothing about it. But since I had one, then I was asked to lead the team. So it was blind leading the blind for sure. So we had more questions than we did answers as we're trying to maneuver through the so I called Mary and said, Mary, help. I need Jack's phone number because we have no idea how we're going to finish the assignment. We couldn't figure out how to pick our stocks. We had 14 criteria. We had the criteria that Jack had used, and we still messed up picking that criteria exactly correct. We had 14 stocks, so we didn't know how we were supposed to select them with green and red and everything else. So I talked to Jack, and he was kind enough to give me a half-an-hour consultation on everything, of which now we're going to line up an on-meeting, another on-meeting, and I'm happy to go over what I learned from Jack with everybody in the class that would like to join that meeting, okay? So he really was helpful, not that I can guide everybody through it, but at least some of it that I can remember, I'd be happy to. So thank you, Jack. So we picked our 2 stocks then based on the reduced criteria. We had too much criteria, it was too expansive.
Also, you may want to say that we could send the link to the other meeting to anybody who wants to follow along what we did.
Okay, oh
Because they
yes,
can
that's
see it,
right.
it's a video.
That is true. I don't know if we really had enough information in that first one that would help anybody,
For
but.
those that weren't able to get through the filters, it would help.
Okay, okay, good. That's a good idea. So, so we picked our 2 stocks, and we chose UBNT and WAC. And as a result of our 4 folks, and Danny, I didn't have your results. What? How many did you do the scanning? Okay. So we had 2 people got 1 out of 4, 1 person got 2 out of 4, and 1 got 4 out of 4.
Wow.
So we at least accomplished finishing our assignment.
That's good. That's good. 4 out of 4, that's very good.
I was in the same group, and I was kind of following along and seeing how she was punching the numbers and all that. Well, then later, of course, I have to go in, because I was stuck in one area and couldn't even get through the process. I went back in, and I got through the process, and I put in your criteria in the order of your criteria, and on the first criteria, there were 51 stocks.
That's all right.
And then when the second criteria plugged in, there were 0, and then the next was 0, and the next was 0. And I thought that was really weird. I wouldn't have a clue as to where to go with that.
I would have to look at it because
Because when he did his on that handout that I tried to follow, you only got down to, I don't know, when you did that for the exercise, 3 stocks, so
Right, so I was like, wait a minute, I did exactly, I thought,
you thought,
as
yes.
well as I could, and I thought, well, that didn't happen, I don't know what.
Yes.
Trying to
this-
navigate that thing is just a big puzzle.
Well, they have tutorials, and that's not.
Yeah, they have a lot of tutorials. They have a lot of
I think
And
tutorials.
even knowing, like, I asked Jack the question of, do we select annual or TTM? And you told me TTM, like on PE ratio. Okay, so I had selected annual before this time when he said check, select TTM. So there's too many choices to know what to select.
Well,
And
I
we don't
did
even know what they
TTM,
mean.
and I didn't even know what it meant, but I got 0. I got 0 stocks on that.
Yes.
That's good. The idea is to get you guys to play with the tools. Now, the way I'm running my criteria may be different from yours, but the idea is to get you guys into the tool. Now, I know there's a lot of fear, maybe, locking on and creating an account, and I was just talking to Roger before the class that there's perhaps another website we could go into, but I haven't looked at it yet, which requires no social security number, and you can just go right in and play with it. But I haven't really gone in and do it yet. But I was introduced to this website by Karen, and Karen
Yeah,
used
and
that
they-
before, so I
Yeah, they
said,
ask for it because you can set up real trading accounts and you can fund it, and so they have to have your social to be able to send the tax information, and that's why they ask for it. It's not an identifier, it's a tax thing. But you have to do that with any trading account that you set up.
I don't know how that lady traded paper for 5 years, because on Trade Monster it says, there's a note that says, if you don't make an account and put money in it, we have the right to disconnect you at any time.
Yeah, they
Okay.
don't.
They won't,
They
they're just
don't.
trying to
They
give you
want
the,
to, because they know people want to practice.
yeah.
And having a free one, they're hard to find, there are not that many of them out there that are really good and have simultaneous trading.
Or you could put $1,000 in an account and not use that money, I think, paper trade separately.
Yeah,
And they call it paper trade because back in the day, they used to paper trade.
yeah.
Basically, you looked in the paper every day and you wrote down your thing.
I like that.
That's an old term that has no.
paper trade.
I assumed it was like writing, yeah, I assumed it was like on paper that you were, I assumed that's where it
Wow.
was. Yeah, it's funny.
I remember many years ago, when I start trading, I will use a piece of graph paper. I don't know if you guys use those graph
Yes,
paper.
definitely.
I will plot the stock price each day. See, that was before like,
All these tools.
that's when TI made the first computer. I don't know, those big.
Yeah.
It costs so much. When you get a computer, you're so happy. It's like, wow, what is a computer? But that was back in those days. The hot, the hot frames, Okay, so very good, Team Dollar. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thanks, Jack.
Here's your assignment for next
All
week.
right, looking forward to it.
Okay. So the last team, Team Gamma. Do we have a Team Gamma rep here? No Team Gamma?
Really?
No one?
What happened?
Did
There
I scare
has
the
to
Team
be.
Gamma
Who's
out?
scared? Somebody's scared.
I'm not doing it.
Oh, okay. So we don't have a Team Gamma?
Really?
Oh, so three
You
teams?
got the piece of paper
I'm
last
very
week.
suspicious.
Nobody's in the team?
Nope, no one's in that team?
I can do the
Oh,
definition for.
it is you.
No, it's not. It's not. I wasn't invited to the team meeting. So.
There you go, definition.
The definition of gamma is going back to delta. Is how fast the delta changes. So if two stock prices have, you're not looking at just the delta. You're also looking at how fast the delta can change. So the higher the gamma is, the more your potential risk, and also the more your potential reward. So.
Okay, thank you. So are you Team Gamma
No.
or you're not?
I'm part of it, but I don't know if the captain is.
So did you guys do any assignments? I don't mean to focus on you, but
Who's on your team?
Kind of speak up on the Team Gamma.
Who's on your team?
Most of the background.
And everyone is being silent.
He's not participating.
Broken up twice.
We skipped school.
So do you guys want to do those assignments next week, or are you guys interested to
Join another team.
Oh, UBL? Okay, so we don't have a Team Gamma.
Oh, can be on our team.
Oh, you will? Okay, all right.
Are you not
So
doing
you
it?
got,
Oh, there's two of you.
okay.
That's kinda cool.
So you got last week's assignment plus this week's
Who
assignment
makes the
then?
team?
Okay. You pass it on, okay.
All right, way to go.
Okay,
Way to
we got
participate.
Gallo.
Yay.
Okay, thanks for volunteering. What I'm trying to do is to get you guys involved, to get you guys doing something, okay? To get you guys learning. Because I know there's a lot of fear in, in trading. Some of you may jump in and learn and just take off, but there may be a group of you that become so fearful and do not trade. That's fine. I mean, as long as you guys learn paper trade and you're not losing anything, but at least give you a chance to learn about this way of perhaps, investing. Talking about fear, all of you drive here tonight, right? Do you know that there's more people killed in the highway, on the American highway, than we lost soldiers, between Iraq and Afghanistan war? It's like average of 40,000, deaths in the American highway each year. 40,000. How many people got killed in between Afghanistan and Iraq? About what? 5,000 or 6,000 roughly. So it's very dangerous out there of driving. But that's it. You guys took the chance to drive here tonight. There's a lot of fear, right? But why is it people still drive when there's so much risk in driving? Yes, Roger.
I was gonna say, people are freaking out over 2 people dying from Ebola, but hey, that's nothing.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of fear out there, but the more you do it, then you got more practice. Practice will make the fear go away, or at least you can control it. Okay. So kind of like what Dr. Gary keeps saying, practice, practice, practice. So what I'm trying to give you is different assignment, different exercise to get you to do more exercise, to do more practice. So you become good at it. Whether you're investing your real money or you're not, that's your choice. Okay. I'm not going to ask you to put your real money in because that is your choice. What I'm asking you to do is at least exposed to it. Learn paper trading perhaps. When you put your real money in, it's your choice. I'm not going to tell you to invest now. That's your money. And I don't want to take credit when you make a lot of money like the Karen lady, managing a kind of $180 million right now with about $40 to $60 million of pure profit. I don't want to take credit for that. But at the same time, I don't want to take credit for your losses too, because that is your decision to trade. I'm just here to share what I know with all of you. Fair?
Fair.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you, John.
I'm not going to ask you to trade your money. So I'm just here to share what I know with all of you. Okay? So just got a couple more things that I want to share with you. Okay, so if you look at page 2 of my handout, I believe you have 2 sets of handouts tonight. My set is at the bottom. So if you turn to page 2 of my handout, well, bottom half of the page 1, and the trading rules, okay, the trading rules. I think I've gone through that briefly last week, right? I said trade stock with a 10% channel, okay? So a $20 stock must have a $2 channel. Do we all know what the channel means? No? If not, okay. Let me, if you can turn to page 2. I just want to reemphasize what Jeff did last week. I think Jeff clarified a point that I was interchangeably using those terms, channel and support and resistance, so I want to clarify that on bullet number 6, support, resistance, and channel lines review. Okay? Support and resistance are really price consolidation point. It's always drawn horizontally. Okay? Support and resistance always drawn horizontally. So you see like A, did you see a letter A on the chart? So that is a what? That is a resistance, right? That is a resistance while the stock is making the move. Oh, by the way, this is a Southwest Airlines stock. Okay, for those of you asking, what stock is this? So this stock has been going up, trending up. So what I did is I draw the channel line. The channel lines are just two arbitrary lines that I draw. Some may argue that, oh, they should be tighter, it should be wider. Okay, fine. Draw whatever lines that you want to draw, but those are always parallel. Those are parallel lines, whether they're trending up, trending down, or trending sideways, or not trending, but just sideways. Always parallel. Those are just channel lines or trending lines. Okay? But the support and resistance lines always drawn horizontally. So if you look at point A is the resistance, right? But you said, wait a minute, look at my support line. Is the support lines also touching that point A? Yes. So that resistance, that previous resistance, becomes the support too. Okay, you can kind of see that, right? So you see the point D. Point D is the most recent support of the Southwest Airlines, roughly about, I don't know, $26, give or take. Okay, so that is also the resistance of the previous resistance too. So location B and C, they're also the resistance areas of that stock. So you can see that those channel lines and support and resistance lines, they will intersect each other. So sometimes when I'm talking, I may use those tools interchangeably, but they really kind of like what Jeff said, support and resistance are horizontal, and the channel lines could be drawn up or down or sideways. Okay? So when I'm talking about channel, I'm talking about the width of the channel. So you must have a 10% channel before you really, should looking at the stock for trading. That will give you enough move when you make the trades. And I also put down the best entry point, 5% bounce of the support, and then the next best is 25% bounce of support. Now that's just my rules. You don't have to follow. You can come up with your own rules. You can say, hey, I want my best point, I believe, I want to make sure I want to bounce about 10% before I come in. And I will set it at the next best bounce is like 30%. It's up to you. My rules doesn't have to be your rules. That is just a starting point for you. And that is also your assignment for the following week. You come up with your own trading rules. Okay? And then I said on the next page, use stop loss or alerts the stop loss price. I use 6%, but you don't have to use 6%. You can use something else. That's just my rules that I follow. Okay. So I also got some other points that I want to pass it out to all of you, so that you guys can follow if you want to. Okay. Questions?
In this example that you have for Southwest Airlines.
Yes.
You have this long skinny channel
Mm-hmm.
that goes up,
Yes.
and you say that, look for a stock trade with a 10% channel. $20 stock must have a $2 channel.
Right.
What kind of channel is this one? If it's like between $32 and $35, that's $3. I'm trying to.
That's a little lower than that.
That's a lower.
$3 is better than a $2 channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah,
more.
$3 a
The
better.
minimum of $2, so you've got over $2
Yeah.
there.
Because if it's only moving 50 cents, there's not much room in there to
Yeah.
make money.
Right.